Okay, for this week, I'm doing something a little bit different. Sport photography, and for this one, it's basketball. And this is the picture of Julian. He's about to go into a shooting motion, as you can see. His eyes are targeting the basket. The ball is in the shooting pocket. So let's go ahead and editing these photos. This one is actually pretty nice lighting. For like a lot of tournament gyms, they have a lot of the lights on top. So as you can see, every other places around him look pretty. The lighting look pretty even, so you don't see like highlight shadow. It's look pretty highlighted for the most part. So for this one, there are just a couple things that I would do mainly, and then the other step would be experimenting to create something creative. But the two small things that I would probably do first is to put more of an emphasis on him. I would try to darken the area around him. That's one thing. I would make certain things to be a little bit more vivid color. So like the ball, just make that orange stand out a little bit more. So the wording, I would probably sharpening it either with an overlay layer mode, even his shoes as well. So let's go ahead, and then the last thing I would try to experiment is color lookup and maybe some other things to add more uniqueness to the pictures. So let's go ahead and do. So for darkening the area, I'm gonna go ahead and use what Photoshop have suggested, which is subject. So if you select that, it would make a really nice selection of him. Hopefully it will do a good job. So as you can see it do. I'm missing a little bit, but that's not a huge deal. So I'm gonna Control Shift I. That will deselect that and select whatever around that original selection. So which is not him, but everything else. And with that selected, I'm gonna go ahead and select what I call. Let's go with bevel. That's the easiest thing to do that. And then now you can see that on the layer mask, it's white every other places and it's dark just on him. So that basically means that if you making any adjustment, it will affecting just the area around him. Okay, and we'll probably will have to touch up a little bit on this area right over here. But with that in mind, let's go ahead and go with 10. You can already see a huge difference with that. In this one, let's go ahead and experiment that a little bit. I think I like this a little bit darken. Look good. Keep the highlight. So maybe keep the highlights a little bit. So 245, and then decrease. Okay, that's look good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get back some of that color right over here. So just kind of making sure it doesn't affecting him too much. I can brush it just around him as well. So that way we don't see like a nice cut between what we did. What I'm doing right now is I'm just making that transition between the background around him and him look a little bit more smooth. Okay, so let's just look at the before and after. Before and after. So I think this is a little bit too much. So what you could do is you could probably try to push it back. And that's looking a little bit better now. Yep. Now with that in mind, I'm gonna go ahead, and the next thing is I wanna just make something to be just pop out a little bit, and I do have an action for that. this one is pretty much, I believe this is the curve layer. With the color dodge, I think later on. I think if you go with color dodge later on, I think you have things like that. But let's just show you how it looked like. Go ahead and play that, and you can adjust the effect on that as well. I think it's just basically a curve layer, and then you go in with color dodge, and then I think you can go with 35. That's what I usually go with. And one thing you could do is, let's do that on the ball. You can see that the orange color just popped a little bit more now. If you don't like it or it's a little bit too much, you can always adjust that. Okay, and let's see, I want to keep the darkened orange, not the bright orange, so I'm gonna go ahead and just move it down a little bit and just look at the before and after. It's very slightly touch on it, but it's make a huge difference. Okay. Look really good. You can probably do that on the shoe as well. The shoes actually look pretty vivid already, so this one doesn't really adding too much to it. But you could see that the white area actually get a lot brighter as well. So that's about it. So look at the before and after. Look at the ball, and look pretty good. If I want to, I actually want to erase a little bit the highlighted area of the ball. Okay, and alright, so that's look really good. The last thing I would do, just minor touch, is just sharpening a few area of him and the ball. So one thing is sharpening the wording on it. Oh, actually, you see a lot of noise in this photo because this the ISO on this is actually around, I think, 3200. That's why you see, if I zoom in, you can probably see some noise on these. But because we are keeping this as a pretty far distance, so we should be okay with the noise. So, and this should be, oh my god, it should be a white brush. That's why it doesn't do anything. So one more time with that. Nike sign and the shoes. Okay, so now it's look a lot better. Okay, so that's look pretty good. And okay, so the one last thing I'm gonna try to do is playing with the background a little bit. All of the stuff on the model, on the subject look really good already. So let's go ahead and do color lookup. That's one of my favorite tools. So I think I have a selection of him already, so I can use that. That's not a good selection. So let's go ahead and do another selection of him. And then change that. And let's go to color lookup. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead with starting with 50%. The reason is color lookup, the effect is really strong, and I would always recommend, just because if you see it really strong, you might not like it. But that's why I always recommend starting with 50, kind of like a midpoint, and then you can always go down or increase up if you like the effect that you're getting. So let's go ahead and just starting from the bottom. Okay, so this one look kind of nice because it's adding it's making the wall look a little bit more kind of faded. So this one might be a good one, but let's keep going to see what else do we get from here. This one really contrasted, so you can see that the wooden floor is a lot more yellow, and then the dark area looks just super dark. This one might be a good one as well. And let's go ahead and keep going. Foggy night might be good. This is sort of a really black and white, desaturated look for the picture, so which is really good. I think I might go with those black and white, but let's scroll down a few more to see if we find something interesting. Okay, so let's go back to those black and white. Okay, so this one, and I'm actually gonna try to play around and see if I can find anything interesting with this. Okay, so I think I'm gonna stay on 50%, but I'm gonna go ahead and adding actually a little bit too much, maybe 40%, and then I'm gonna go ahead and change the layer mode on this. No, not this one, but just gonna be doing another curve, layers, and then change the layer mode to just, I think, soft light, too much. And I think I just want to, I'm gonna do a clipping mask. What it does is just gonna affecting the region of the color lookup, so not on the model, but everything else. So, and then play around with the layer mode. Let's see what I like. Just a lighter color. Pin line. Oh, it doesn't do anything. I think I like the vivid lines. Actually, let's go with hard line, and then go down to about, let's go with 85%. So pretty. What I liked about this hard line mode, as you can see that all of the area in the back sort of distracting. Because of equipment stuff, the shadow from the roof. So some of that, if we can just darken it so that it doesn't like cause attention to the eyesight of the audience, of the viewer, then a lot of the focus will be go back to the model or to the subject, which is him holding the bow and shooting motion. So let's go ahead and turn off that and see. Yep. So just adding more contrast between the model and the background. So anything else? I think I might want to darken the area around just one more time. So I'm gonna do another clipping mask with let's go with exposure color, because I think actually, yeah, let's go with that and do another clipping mask with that, and then decrease. Yep, decrease the line. So I'm gonna go with 0.92, 0.9, 0.6. Yep, and then do I want to go a little bit darker? That's too much. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it at 0, and then gamma correction. So do I want to go with a darker look? the brighter look. I think I'm gonna go with the darker look. Yep. 0.7. Okay, and then just go ahead and turn on before and after. Before and then after. I think this one looked really good. So I think I'm gonna stop at this one, and then let's group everything and see what we come up with. So we're coming in with this original photo, and we're getting out this one. Very simple editing on this one, not too much stuff that we're doing, but actually the effect is very dramatic, and usually when you have so much like light on top that's shining on the person, in this one is the gym, so for tournament I think they all want every places to look pretty bright. So they have, I think if you see from the roof right here, they have every I think every 3 or 4 feet they have a light on top shining directly. So there's a lot of light on the roof that's shining down. So that's why you have a really, and you could probably see that, that's why you have some sort of shadow underneath the neck, because the light shining on top that go down. And with that, it's very not easy, but it's kind of nice, because if you want to editing photos, you can always kind of darken the surrounding area, and that giving you more focus on the actual subject. And that's what we did. We slowly follow that idea of try to darken everything else, and then giving all the emphasis on the subject. And with that, I'm gonna conclude this editing, and hopefully next time we'll pick something more interesting. Maybe someone actually doing the game. I'll snap a photo of them in their jersey with the defenders on, maybe editing that. That might be a little bit more interesting. This one just a little bit in the moment. I snap it. It looked pretty cool because he kept smiling, shooting the ball, which is nice. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the editing, learning something. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment. Subscribe to the channel. I will be putting out editing videos every week, either sharing tips, going through a full tutorial just like this one, or just editing photo and sharing you what I know, what I love, and hopefully that will help me get better and meet more people as well.